do it next.
Come on up! Whoa!
Whoa! Get it! There! The button! Oh!
That's the way to the back.
I got it. Like, let me go.
Oh, yes, sir.
Andrew knows how to fly this thing.
It's my turn for the Xbox.
Lord is the foundation of true knowledge. But fools despise two things, wisdom and discipline. Where we begin when it comes to you asking the question of, like, if that blank piece of paper right there is a blank canvas of your life, and you're like, okay, I'm going to write down everything that I want to see in my life. I'm going to pick out my kids' names, and they're going to be in this book. I'm going to know how many kids, where I'm going to live, what I'm going to do, what house I'm going to be in, what cars I'm going to drive, all of that stuff. We're going to unpack on what that looks like. But for the beginning of this, where do we start? Blueprints. Before you even start building a house, what do you got to have?
A husband.
A husband.
Oh, wait, no.
Yes. Before you build a house, you make sure you have a husband.
No, wait, no.
You gotta have a foundation.
You gotta have a foundation.
Yeah.
You got to start at the right starting spot, okay? You have to know where you're starting from. So, fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge. You want to know what God wants out of your life? I mean, here's the thing, is that God wants something enormous for all of your lives. Every one of you. Not like collectively, but individually too. There's something that God has for you that you need to chase after. And we've talked about this before, right? I always push on you guys to chase after something. Because when you're stalled, when you're not going any direction on purpose, when you're just coasting, you go nowhere. You end up wasting so many years of your life. And the fact is, you just have a few years. You have a handful of, just a very sliver of time. And Solomon says in Ecclesiastes that life is, and we use this term in this book. Like when you read it, you go, oh no. He says life is what? Life is fleeting. He actually says that. Yes, that is even more genius than I thought. Like he says in Ecclesiastes, life is meaningless, but could be more accurately translated as very complex and very fast. It comes, and as fast as it comes, it's gone. And so Solomon, over the course of his life, wrote a whole bunch of Proverbs. Solomon, towards the beginning of his life, wrote Song of Solomon about this interaction he has with a very beautiful lady that he falls in love with. And towards the end of his life, he writes Ecclesiastes, where he looks back and he realizes all the things that he did. He was kind of like the prodigal son. All the things that he chased in his life that were meaningless. When he looks back on it, he goes, man, I wasted so many years chasing this and trying to be like these people and trying to fulfill this emptiness in my life. I did all these things and it was all meaningless. All of the futile chasings I had. It was a waste of my life. So we have this book a few thousand years later that we now read and we say, well, what do we do? If life is quick, then what kind of dreams do you develop now to make sure that you're doing what God wants you to do later? Because you can't just show up one day when you're 40 and go, now I'm going to start following. Because you don't have a guarantee you'll even make it to 40. And so what we're going to get into is the game of life. Things are going to happen. I'm going to have a bag of tragedies, and you might pick a tragedy out. Because tragedy happens to everybody, right? Yeah. We can't plan for them, but we can plan on how we react to them. We know how we are going to approach this tragedy and make it through the storm. Jesus often took his disciples into places where storms happened. And he wasn't surprised by it. And most of the time, he's the one that got them into it in the first place. Let's get in the boat and go out on the water. And they do, and a storm hits, and they're like, what are you doing to us? Be ready. You will have storms. Okay? Fear the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge. So you tell me, what is fear? We have fear in our lives. Tell me things that you fear most. Okay? Before we get into the verse, what do you fear most in life at your age?
The future.
What about the future? Oh, say it.
Getting kidnapped, I'm telling you.
Wow, that very deep, very quickly.
Getting benched.
Getting benched?
Yes.
Which means what for you?
You sit on the bench.
Which means what?
You don't do anything. And
Yeah, I got that part, but
Like, you're like out of the game. Like, you don't
out of
play.
the game.
You don't play.
She's got
What do you
FOMO.
feel like when you get, like, in your mind, you're sitting on the bench, what is an emotional feeling that you have when you're there?
Mad. Oh, well, I
You're
guess
mad.
not fear, but
You feel.
Well, what do you fear? You
She's got
fear,
FOMO.
you fear feeling something. What is it that you fear? Allie feels fearful of being kidnapped.
disappointed, defeated.
Defeated. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I fear doing things where on the front end I go, this could be successful or this could be a complete failure. And so I fear failure and being defeated all the time. That could be a defining fear in my life that has shaped many of the decisions that I've made along the way. Yeah.
I don't like the ocean.
Ocean. Why do you not like the ocean?
It's too big.
Are you scared of
Too
the
big.
little
What does
water?
it mean?
It's
You
too
don't
big.
even know what's
The
in
pool.
there.
It's too
You don't know what's in
You
there.
don't know what's in that ocean.
Fear.
Fish
I'm gonna
eat
go.
what's in that ocean.
Allie dug in for you. You fear the unknown.
Well, it's like a billion miles deep and nobody's been at the bottom. What's down there? Big old fish.
Look, you can pray and maybe the Titanic.
Nah, he gonna eat you.
And the people in the Titanic made it here
The ocean
from
is
Titanic.
salty.
They didn't make it.
Look,
Only a couple
Okay.
hundred. It's okay. It's fine.
the ocean is
Okay, go ahead, Della. Guys,
Deep waters.
deep waters. What is it? What is it about deep waters that scare you? Fear.
It's easy to get stuck.
Stuck. Oh man,
Drowned.
stuck. I like that. That's good. What?
Like, drowning.
Drowning. So, do you guys fear dying?
Yeah.
I've always
Okay, out of 100 being you think about dying all the time, and 0 being you're completely not afraid of dying, where would you land? 0 to 100. Go.
I always put
90.
30.
I always put 9 out
90.
of 10.
I'm gonna say
Reason is-
Yeah, a good
50.
75.
I like that.
90 and 90, 75.
Someone
Go.
said 80 back
I've
there.
always,
80,
30.
80,
I've always
90.
I'm just scared it's gonna
You guys think about dying 90% of the time?
Well, like
It's
four
like
people
50-50.
die like every minute and 4 hours.
Man, you really, okay.
It's just like, you know, like you had driving.
Yeah, hold on. Emma, what'd you say? When you're scared of what?
When she's riding with Bailey.
Literally, today I used my like left foot for the brake because of my and like my mom was so mad.
Yeah, no,
You
you
don't
don't
drive-
use 2 feet.
Why
when
do
you
you
drive.
drive?
You don't drive a stick shift.
Why are you
doing
driving?
that?
I did. So you has 3 pedals, you could use 2 feet. Then 2 pedals, you better use 1 pair. Go ahead.
Oh, also, it's like whenever oh crap, Emma, you got me off track. It was like.
Emma, it's Emma's fault.
Oh, it's like when you're driving in the car and you know, like how you're upset or something. You're like, what if I just die right now? Like,
Oh my
what
God.
if I
You wanna
crash?
Man, I was not prepared for this conversation. You guys think about death 90% of the time. Go ahead.
I've always, I'll do 10. Because the reason is, I'm never really.
You're gonna do 10,
I
okay?
never think about death, but I'll always have in the back of my mind that I might die, and if I die, I die.
Well, yeah.
I don't fear it, but like if
like
it happens to me, I'm aware of it.
Well, you said on a scale of 0 to 100, how much do you fear?
How much do you
So
fear?
I would be like a good solid 1, but I think about it a lot. I'm not scared of it, but I think about it.
I'm scared of dying.
Think about it.
I mean, if you're dead, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, there's no point. There's no point in being scared of
Okay,
it.
man, think
I'm
about it.
scared of what people think.
Well,
of me
yeah, like
after
if I did die, I wouldn't be like fast, like.
I mean,
Like,
Bullet
I
to the
don't-
head.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not asking.
No one's gonna know. No one's
Okay,
gonna know.
we're not going down that road. Yeah, go ahead.
The fear of what other people think about it.
Okay. What others?
That doesn't bother me.
Others'
What's
opinions?
that word? Yeah, opinions.
Others' opinions? How much of your life do you think
98%.
No, hold on. Let me ask you something. 98%. You didn't finish the question. Okay.
You know people talk
If you had two roads, this is one road and this is the other, and you had a choice to make, A or B. If a whole bunch of the people closest to you said you need to do A, but you feel like you need to do B, what are the chances that you take A?
0.
50.
It really is a big
No,
Everybody
probably
else is
90.
like, listen, Jake, you really need to do A, but you feel like, you know what, I really need to do B.
Yeah.
How many of you would say A? I would lean towards A. A?
I would.
People's opinions. People telling you, you really need to do this.
I would be.
Can I tell you why mine's zero?
Yeah, it depends on what it is.
I mean,
Which
like,
is
if
good.
I'm wearing a fat, ugly outfit and they're like, no, then maybe.
Fat, ugly outfit.
What?
Okay.
Can I say? Can I tell you the reason why I would say B?
Go ahead.
I've been through a lot to where A would usually be my decision, but now that we've grown up and we've decided that B would be the better choice, because it doesn't matter what other people think at this point, it's a matter of what you think and what your heart leads you to.
They can kiss my butt. I'm taking B just to piss them off.
Go ahead, Dylan.
We'll have to
Thank you,
cut that
Andrew.
and cut him from the film.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna cut that
recording.
out just since you won't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna beep it out. That way nobody knows exactly
You
what
don't
I
have to
said.
keep it out. My parents know
Somebody
exactly
goes
what
back
it
and
is.
Okay, so let Della talk. Shh.
Pretty
It
sure I
depends
told
on
them
who's
that.
telling me to do
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So you feel like if these are people that are close to you that you go, I trust these people's opinions. And I didn't say that B was what God was telling you to do. I just said it's what you feel like doing. I feel like this, but this is what everybody else says. So you guys dig into that. I know that some of these questions are leading, but I like where you guys are going. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would probably do 50-50 because like if
Okay.
Group A, like if they have taken that road before, then probably. But if they
Okay.
haven't, then probably not. So it's like a
Okay.
50-50 between each.
All right, 50-50. We're holding it down the middle right there. Okay, so let's do this though.
Put line down the middle.
Let's do let's try this.
You
Okay,
guys-
let's look at all these things that we just have here. These are some things that you guys said you're afraid of. Okay. Now, in situations like this, Allie initially said being kidnapped would be awful, being defeated, sitting on the sidelines, going on this bit, not having any idea, being stuck where you're at in your life. Maybe you're stuck in your career, you're stuck in a place you can't get out of. It's just like, I'm just in this cycle. I keep going back and forth. I struggle with this, and now it feels like I'm stuck and I'll never get out from it. Death. The fact that death is a reality, probably, the death rate still hovers around 100%. Okay?
Every day?
There's about 100% of you are going to die. So,
No one's gonna care.
Some of you guys are looking
No
at
one's
it
gonna
going,
care about us.
yeah.
I mean, like, you really don't have an option. Like, at the end of the day, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean that the most positive way ever.
It is, but it is. Sometimes it feels discouraging, but it can shape how you live your life, and it can push you in a certain direction. Now, listen, okay? This is where we got to go, and then I've got to ask you to start writing things down because we're running out of time. Okay? So all of these things. Let's start with kidnapped. Okay? Let's say, Allie,
Present.
that you were at work, and they were like, "Hey, Allie, you work at TJ, right?"
Yep. Sadly enough.
Okay. Hey, TJ, employee of the year, Allie, go into the back, get some boxes, bring it out. We got to restock with men's socks. Okay.
Oh.
I've
And
done
they're
that
like,
before.
yeah, see, and you go, okay. You go back there, and a very strange guy in all black comes up and grabs you and takes you and throws you in a van, and you're kidnapped. Okay.
You're a
I'm
big
thinking that
guy.
if I'm annoying enough, they'll bring me back. So maybe. But then he also might
Okay.
just like.
Okay, but
end it
immediately
all.
when you start talking, he puts tape over your mouth, so you can't say anything. Unfortunately. So tell me, how aware of you, from 0 to 100, we'll rate everything from 0 to 100. What's your awareness of everything that's going on around you right now?
Literally like 99.
99.9. There's absolutely no way that you can be more aware. In this moment, and Bailey, you're sitting on the sidelines, and that person's in. And you just lost your position, and they just hit 3 spikes in a row, and you're just like, oh, you're kidding me! Like, I know I just lost it. I feel like the guy that was backing up Tom Brady. Now he's in the game, and I'm out. What do you feel like in that moment? Your emotions. Rate your emotions from 0 to 100 right now.
100, like
100 right there.
It's like if it's that one girl, like I just want to like.
It's at that peak of like,
Yeah.
this is the most angry and the most disappointed and the most discouraged.
Yeah.
Feels like I could feel the pain in my chest.
Well,
Like I can feel my heart
Yeah.
not having to touch.
It's
Like
like
I
that word
am destroyed.
That word that Andrew used earlier. That's the word I was using.
The what? The what word?
Yeah,
To be mad.
Oh, she'd be real. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Like with defeated, mine would be 102 because it would be like the fear of failure.
Yeah.
Like,
The fear of failure.
you
Yeah.
failed your
Being
team.
absolutely as far as you can go. Let's go down here to death. Okay.
No, let's just
Okay.
forget about
Let's
this.
go. Let's go. We're running out of time.
Just skip
I'd love to be these, but I'd love to hit them all. But let's go to death. You probably be like, you know what? I don't think about it that much. Maybe I'm not even afraid of it that much. However, something happens, and you go to the doctor, and your doctor comes into the room, and he has just a look of really concern. He says, "Listen, your name. We're gonna have to run this test. We'll let you know in a couple weeks what the results are." All of a
I would
sudden,
not want Jeremy to be my doctor.
all of a sudden, the death thing is like, all of a sudden, I don't think about death that much. But now, all of a sudden, 0 to 100. How much are you thinking about this now?
99.
100.
100.
100. Yeah, you know what? 99. Round it up to 100. Okay, so hear this. These things could all happen, but look at you guys right now. I can look at all your faces right now. It doesn't look like you're afraid of anything. It doesn't look right now. Everything looks like it's under the surface. You guys may be just really faking it right now. You have no idea. I'm terrified of something right now. Now, these things might be really low right now, but when fear kicks in, this ramps up to 100 when you're afraid of all these things. Now, you're aware of your situation here. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge. Why are we to fear God?
Because
Why do we fear God, though?
God.
What is that going to help us be?
Respectful.
Okay, respectful. And what else? Remember, use it off of this.
Kind.
It's like
What happens at this point that pushes you to 100? How do you get to 100 right here?
It's because it's like a surprise. Like you don't know what's gonna happen, or you don't know what he looks like, or you don't know anything. So pretty much it's just
So what gets
go
your
and see what
fear?
happens.
What gets your fear of God?
Not knowing what he looks like, or what, literally not knowing anything. That's
Okay.
the fear. I don't know.
What makes me fear God is that He created me, but He can also take me out as fast as He
I
can.
brought you into this world. I take you.
Okay, so
Like,
hold on.
That was a good octave.
Go ahead.
We feared God because what would happen if we didn't have Him? What if we weren't with Him? What if we, like, let's say it was our time for death, let's say, and we go and we stand before Him and He's like, you did wrong, you're going to hell. You're not going to be with me. That's what I fear. That's what I fear, is not being with Him or having Him.
And that fear that you have, what does that start shaping in your life so that we can talk about where we're going for this whole thing? Everybody's right on track. You guys are here. You guys are here. We fear God because being outside of His presence is something we've never experienced before. Even if you're sitting here and like, I hate God. You've never been outside of His presence, and His love for you continues to pour into your life regardless of what you do. But life is meaningless, or better translated as life is quick, life is fast, life comes, it goes, it's quick. This is still 100%. Be prepared. Why should we fear God? Because it makes us respectful and it makes us more aware of His presence. Why does it make us more aware of His presence? Because whenever you guys fear these things, your awareness kicks up to 100, right? The doctor calls you, phone, you look at your caller ID, you know that's Memorial Hospital. Call him. Like, I know what this call is. All of a sudden your awareness goes up 100. Why should we fear God? Because God wants for you to be fully aware of His presence. He is with you at all times. It puts all of our senses at 1,000, and we're aware of what He's calling us to do. Now, we're going to start writing, okay? Let's do this. This is why I got this thing like this, because it's can't help me.
Yeah. Flip
Oh.
baby.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right?
Sleep.
Here it is. Let's get into this. Fools despise two things: wisdom and discipline. What is wisdom? Wisdom is, write these three words down. Wisdom is experience, knowledge, and desire.
That was not 3 words. What 3 words are we writing?
Wait,
Because you just said
Wisdom
desire.
is these 3 words. Wisdom
Okay.
is experience, knowledge, and desire. Solomon said, if you pray for wisdom, you will get it. Solomon prayed for wisdom, and God gave him wisdom. Fools despise wisdom. These 3 words. Wisdom is experience. The experiences that you have in your life will get you wisdom. Wisdom is also knowledge, being able to use the things that you learn along the way and use them. So if I were to give you a bag of tools and go, Matthew, here's a bunch of tools, build me something, you would have the knowledge, you have experience of, I've built things before, now you have the knowledge, I know what this tool is used for, I know how to use it, I know what it'll do for me and how to build it, and your desire is, I want to build something. For so many of us, we just go, we don't want to build anything. But wisdom is, we're building something, whether you want to or not. Wisdom is God giving you the knowledge, the experience, and the desire to make decisions in your life to build a kingdom. And it matters that you use those experiences. So here's what I'm going to ask you tonight. You're going to start dreaming. You're going to use the last 11 minutes to start dreaming. You ready? Here we go. When, this is important. When do you want to start a family?
Oh, never.
What constitutes a family?
Family
Creating a child.
can be, when do you want to get married? Give me a year. And
Oh, can I just
when do you want to have kids?
Can you just give me
Okay?
ages and years? What if we don't want?
Do it, that's fine. Just put your ages down. This is your book. You're writing your book. Okay? You're writing your book. Nobody else. I'm not going to sit there and read them.
If you did, I would probably laugh. I would be like, hi, Jeremy, and I expect a response.
Okay. So when? So it's kids. How many? If you know their names, write them down. How many? And then get married. And then guess what your husband or wife's name will be.
Why?
And, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so you're gonna write family. So write family so you know what you're doing, or you can just write. You write. It's how you write your book. You can say, I want to be this old when I get married, and this is how many kids I want to have, and these are their names, and this is how many triplets I want to have. Okay.
What if we like want to adopt?
Well, if I have twins,
You don't really
Or tell me if you want to adopt. Or tell me if you want to
What if
adopt.
I adopt Kotaku from
we have the same
Nigeria or
age,
something? Or
I would love to
Ashton,
see
I'm
you.
not giving you rules because this is your life, not mine. Okay? So if you want to adopt, you can adopt.
I'm adopting a little Kumba.
If you adopted a Nigerian kid, I would feel
Can I-
so bad for that
Can I
poor
adopt a
child.
dog?
Just from all the random
Wait,
crap that he would have
Jeremy!
that he would have to listen to.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Why
I think so. Where are the pens at? Oh,
I was
over
trying to
there.
tell him how Nigeria
Your
is
dog's
like,
big.
even though he came from there. Be like,
You know that your
yeah, you know
dog's
they got
big.
water over there in Nigeria.
Try one of those.
Dad, I drank
All
that.
right. Shh. All right. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. Okay? We're putting some discipline down because right now we're dreaming, we're thinking. Don't let anybody else sway what you write down. Remember from summer stories when we did this, you were the one with the pen in your hand. You decide, don't let somebody else go, hey, no, you need to have 4 kids instead of 5. You need to have 4 kids instead of 9. Don't do that.
That's a lot of kids.
All right, there's your first question. You guys feel good about it?
Yes, sir.
Going on to the next one. All right, tell me what happens after high school.
I'm not even in high school.
Okay.
It's called a dream.
I understand.
Well, I'll be in high school in a week.
What happens after high school? Okay? Do you,
The military.
if you say it, do this. Are you going to college? Are you going to the military?
My friends do.
Are you
I'll die for you guys.
getting a job? Are you being a bum?
I'm being a lazy kid.
Okay?
That's gonna get you far.
Could be. Don't let anybody else tell you anything, but you write down, in my life, this is what happens after high school. Okay? I plan on getting my high school diploma, and then this is the college that I'm gonna go to, and I'm gonna major in this. So your major, your focus is this. What's your major? What's your focus? What do you want to do in college? Are you going to go into the military? And what military? What are you going to fly planes? Are you going to be in combat? You say that. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to work as the general manager of TJ Maxx.
Gosh, I would die if I was ever a manager. at
GM, TJ. I mean,
We
I'm not
actually
saying
have a
it's
manager, and his name is TJ. And this lady walked in, she was like, "I find it so ironic he works here." And I was like, "Okay." And she just stood there and looked at me. I was like, "You're making me want to."
It is unusual. You own this store?
His name
Yes.
is Timothy James.
Oh, Timothy
Yeah.
James.
I think TJ.
Or be a bum and you tell me where you live. Where do you live?
Probably California.
Where you live? Bum. That's where I want to be. Feel good? Everybody still writing?
Beach bum.
I want
This
to
is all here on one page.
And no, you can put it on. You put it on the next one if you want.
I got some fat hair on it, Jamie.
Yeah, you can do it. If you want to write on the next page, you can do that too. We'll make the book work. How you do it? Okay? Ready?
More pages.
All right. You gotta focus now. Bailey's way behind now. I mean, yeah.
It's still summer and you're asking people to write. What do you expect?
We don't go to school.
All right, Bailey.
Have to answer the question.
Bailey, quickly. When are you gonna get married? How many kids are you gonna have?
19.
Are you gonna adopt? What happens to you after high school? Are you going to college? And what's your major? Military, getting a job, or being a bum? Okay, so you gotta dream a little bit and you'll catch up. So here, pick an adventure, okay? This is what I want you to pick. Something that you've always wanted to accomplish. Maybe it's travel the world. Maybe it's write a book. I want to write a book. I want to be a published author at
Wait,
some
what did you
point.
say this was for? Wait, okay.
Adventure.
Pick an adventure.
So pick an adventure. Something in your life that is a, what I'll call a bucket list item. Or items. Maybe a couple items.
So
This is
we're
your
just making
bucket
a
list. What?
So we're just making a bucket list?
No, just a couple things. You
Okay.
pick an adventure.
Yes.
This is something that I want to do. This is something I want to do. What is it that's deep down inside of you that everybody else says there's no way you have enough money for that? Money's not an object, okay? You're not going to let money, you're not going to let, your fear of getting kidnapped in Spain, you're like, no, I'm going to travel the world. I want to go to Quebec and I want to see all the beautiful things, something that I don't know.
French Canada, that's all.
Yeah, there you go.
If you speak English, you don't want to go to Quebec.
Figure it out.
Everything.
You want to write a book? You want to make a movie? What do you want to write a book about? What do you want to make a movie about? Do you want to adopt an exotic animal? Do you want to, tell me what do you want, okay?
Basketball with
Pick an adventure. I want to get this person's autograph. My adventure is I'm going to stalk this person until I get their autograph, okay?
I'm gonna get a cat and some butter.
Yeah, don't do that. That'd be weird. That'd be super weird.
That's not
Okay,
weird.
ready? All right, we only got a few minutes left. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Can we
Okay.
just stay a little bit longer?
I'm pulling it out as long as I can, but it's how you write your book. You're writing your book. Okay, we're good. Pick your adventure. Do you have an adventure? Do you have an adventure? You guys still thinking?
You're so boring. God.
Oh, you're at the high school part. Oh no. Okay. Well, yeah. That's still you're just dreaming right now. What you're gonna do over the next few weeks is you're actually gonna tangibly pick these things out and create what is going to happen. Now, it might happen to you by happenstance. You're going to pick things out. You're going to dig in there. And you're going to go, oh man, I hope it's college. And you're going to pick something out that's going to be totally different. You're going to go, oh man, that could be a curveball. What happens when plans change in the last second? We'll figure that out. Okay? I'll have colleges that you'll go to. I'll have a list of military jobs that you'll have. And I'll have a list of regular jobs. And how much you'll get paid. And you'll just have to make the best out of it. Okay? You'll reach into a bag next week, and you'll pull out a job, and it'll give you your salary, and then you gotta figure out how to make it work, okay? So all that happens in the next few weeks, and then you'll figure out how many people you get married to. No, that doesn't make sense. How many, you marry one person, then you figure out how many kids you'll have. I got this backwards, don't do that. Okay. Oh!
Don't do it.
Okay, pick an adventure. You guys got it?
I want the road. I got
Feel
30.
good about your adventure? Alright. This could be a million things. It doesn't have to be travel the world. It doesn't have to be write a
What do you mean
book.
by being a bum? What do you mean?
Being a lazy.
Just
Live with your parents.
not doing anything. Living with your parents
until
until
you're they
you're
die.
30.
And then
Until
acquire
you
the home.
It could happen. I don't know. But, okay, so you guys got that? All right. Oh, I haven't used green. No, use green. Blue. Next one.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, how many more of these are there?
I don't know.
I'm running out of room.
Ready?
You write so freaking big.
Describe
We can't all have petite handwriting.
your
I'm just small.
You got petite little handwriting.
dream house.
Oh.
A bungalow.
Whoa, I thought that said something else.
House.
Describe
What's your dream horse?
What dream horse?
Yeah, don't.
Stars, baby.
If you want to have a horse, that's fine, but don't just
My
have your
dream
horse.
horse is
Alright.
a white one named Stars.
Okay.
Star Spangled.
Now, remember,
Travel across
your dream
the
house, okay, is gonna be, where is it located?
James, get it.
Is it in the country? Is it in the city? Is it in the suburbs? Is it in Chicago? Is it in Quebec? Is
Oh, I
it
got
in
it. I got it.
We're
Spain?
moving.
Okay.
Don't-
You need your location, and you need size. How big's your house? And then what is it? What would your dream? Is it old farmhouse style? Is it new age 400 square foot apartment that's $100,000 a year in New York City because that's what you want to do? But you look for size. What is it? What is it like? Yeah, you gotta describe. Yeah, describe it. Describe that. There you go.
Okay, I gotta look it up.
I
Okay.
don't know what it's called.
At this point, right now, you're thinking.
That's a pretty sweet house.
I
That's a
chose-
pretty sweet house, Jeremy. Get on my level, man.
All right.
All I'm saying is you could have gone anywhere and you chose Georgia, so. I mean, I'm glad you did, but I don't know why.
Well, I appreciate it.
He actually chose Chattanooga, Tennessee.
I'm glad you did, but I don't know why anybody in their right mind would choose to live here.
He actually lives in
Ain't never
Chattanooga.
happy.
Thank you very much. Not
So,
I chose my dream house
Alright.
in Montana.
you guys got it?
A lake
Feel
house.
strong about your house?
I mean, like, there's a lot of details.
Lake house in
but I
Alaska
gave
with
you
a
bare
dock.
minimum.
Bare minimum, what you've been thinking
Dirt
about
runway.
as far as that's the kind of house I want this kind of
Yeah,
house.
like a little sailboat that I could go out on the lake on.
No, you can
And have a little dirt, instead of driving a car, I'd have like a little one-man or four-man like little plane, and that's what I'd get. Because, in Alaska, you can't really like drive.
You can buy a plane that floats on the water.
Hey,
Why
what's
would-
that
Okay,
thing?
you guys are digging it deep, thank you. What?
What's that thing? It's like black what? Like black shutters? What do you call it? Like
Black spider.
no, it's like the outside of the house.
That's shutter.
I'm on black what?
Shutter.
What?
Those things that you
But
close over the window.
Shutters and on what?
Drapes.
What do you call it?
Drapes.
Black cabin.
Curtains.
You work. Go to school for years, and then
A
you
black
go
cottage.
and-
The like
Black food.
around the windows. What do you call it?
A shutter, bud.
Okay. You guys got it?
Bailey had the word, and she was still asking us
What?
what word.
Yes, you are.
Is your dream house? Where's it located? State? Country?
Money.
Jeremy, what's your dream house?
Yeah.
Do you want a big plantation house
No, no.
for all like 12 of your children?
I go through seasons where
I'm
I'd
gonna
love
go
to
to
live out
Rockport,
in the
Georgia,
country
where I
and
can
in a
move to a
big
cotton
farmhouse with the kids, and then there's other times when I want to live on the beach and be able to just.
I'm gonna have a
Jeremy, you would have like a I can't.
Then there's other times I want like did anybody see the James Bond movie Skyfall?
Yeah.
Anybody see that? Nobody saw that? No, we know the house that he was in out in the. I love that house. I think that's really cool. Yeah, that was out nowhere in the mountains. Oh, it's so cool. Okay, so mountains. My dad would love to live in the mountains. He'd love to.
Then why do you live in Oklahoma?
I know. I would like to. I'm like, why don't you move to Montana? Move to the mountains.
I'm moving to
Okay.
Montana.
Are you ready?
Living
They're a
to
little
Dallas.
scary. I think I'd stay
Okay. Real quick. This is a quicker one. Okay, ready?
Richard House.
What cars are you driving?
Oh.
A beer.
I'm driving
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was waiting for this
I
question.
want a
Yeah.
boy toy. Like
What cars are you
I
driving?
want an F.
It kind of falls into the same as the house.
Can I-
What car are you
What
driving?
about multiple
PA.
cars?
Multiple, yeah, you can.
Okay.
If you want, and it matters how many. If you're shooting for 1, 2, or 3, maybe one for the weekend, one for the family, and then one for
No, you have to
midlife
have
crisis.
one
You can do
every
that
day
as
of the
well.
week. You
Okay.
have to have one for every day of the week.
Yep, it's called a yellow Chevy pickup.
Soccer minivan.
If you got to carry the kids around, just tell them to top in the back. We're making a
Top.
commercial.
Telluride. Telluride.
Jeremy, what's your dream car?
Old school bus with the top tops off of it.
Oh, that would actually be really cool.
Right? That's what I said, the party bus.
Like an old school bus,
Okay.
where you like turn it in like an RV.
I want to drive the new
No, like if you
Nazarene
made us
van up there.
yeah.
That dude.
the 1999
Alright.
Ford Transit.
I ain't living
They're not even Ford, dude. They're Chevy. What are you on about?
I don't want
I think,
BMWs.
Jeremy, I saw, so you know there's like a little used car lot over there next to Bailey's? On my way over here, I saw like an old, like not big van, like not like a big bus, but like one of those short little transit buses for sale. And it's like an old church bus, they just
I
painted
don't
it
have a
white.
fancy car.
Oh,
All I'm saying is,
that could be it.
that could be ours.
Could be it.
I mean, if you want to put together $7,000, we can have a pretty good looking little thing.
What happened?
It's just like a fancy dress.
Oh, who's that is? Oh.
No,
You
Ford
probably
F-
put,
Okay.
you probably put like married 40 or whatever. He's on there. What?
Yeah, but they're just made.
Okay.
They're not made to tow. They're just made to tow.
All right, ready?
My boy toys.
As we wrap it up, these are all pieces of your life, but things are gonna happen.
You're gonna run out of
Okay? Along the way, things are gonna happen. Here's what I want you to take into consideration. What is the risks that you're gonna take in your life?
malaria.
And
West Nile virus. That's what I want.
just like where we were, what are some of the things that you fear most? Write that down in here. What are some of the things that you fear happening as you put some of your dreams out here? These things are put into motion. You've written them down, and so you're starting to see and read the things that you want, and you're going, "Wow, I really have high hopes," or "Man, I have a lot on my bucket list I haven't done yet." What are some of the things when it comes to how do you define risk in your life? How likely are you to take risks? And what is it that you fear most when you look at your list?
Sometimes I'm scared of
Do you fear, are some of the things that you fear in your life getting married and losing that person? Or some of the things that you fear most are, I'm not able to have kids? Or what you fear most is the fact that you go to college and when you get there and you have your major and you think everything's put together and you realize you're not even interested in this field and you go, oh man, now I'm back at square one. I have no idea what I want to do with my life. Or are the things that make you nervous getting a job and then getting fired? And going, well, now I've lost my source of income. What is it? What are your fears that drive you to be afraid? But we know that risks are going to come. We know that God's called us to not fear chasing Him, not fear His leading in your life, But his leading in your life is going to call you to take risks. So how likely are you to be the kind of person to take risks? Is this the sort of thing that once you put it all down here, you kind of step back and you go, you know what? I've given my life to Jesus, so I feel like he's put some of these things in my heart on purpose. I feel like what I'm going to college for is what he wants me to do, because I feel like he put that in my heart. Or I feel like, I want kids because God's put that in my life. Define risk in your life. What is the thing that you fear most happening to you? It's different, and like we've gone over, it's different culturally. One thing that I feared when I was in Oklahoma were tornadoes. It got to the point where I wanted to move out of Oklahoma so badly because tornadoes would come through pretty much for 60 days straight, starting in April and May, and it was every night. There's a tornado here, there's a tornado here. We're watching the pathway, and then the guy gets on the news and says, "Everybody take cover." And then that one day, the one day that I was in my house, I was in high school at the time. My high school was like right here, and my house was right here. The tornado came through, destroyed portions of my high school, and then when it was coming towards my house, we knew where it was coming. I lived like 3 blocks. 3 blocks. Oh, that's supposed to be blocks. 3 blocks from my high school. So I'm thinking that's like from here to Hobby Lobby.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Where Hobby Lobby is, it hits Hobby Lobby and it's coming over, and I'm thinking just a matter of time. So my parents and I go into the hallway, and we're in the hallway and we're covering ourselves up with the mattress or something like that, and it's getting louder, and all of a sudden it sounds like a school bus is running over my house. And right when it gets to my house, it lifts off the ground and then lands on the other side and keeps going. And so for us, it was like, if my awareness of mortality and death was heightened when I was a high schooler, going, man, I didn't think I was invincible in high school. And then all of a sudden, a tornado comes through and I realize these things are out of my hands. There are some things and risks and things that we live with that are completely out of my hands. Some tragedy can happen in my life, and I didn't want it to happen, but it happened. So how prepared are you to take risks in your life? And how much are you afraid of death? How little are you afraid of, or how much do you fear death? How little do you fear God? That you go, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do, and hopefully when I die, me and God will be tight. Me and him. We'll be like, yeah, I'm coming in, right? Spend eternity with you. Or he's going to look at you and go, I have no idea who you are. You never talked to me. You never spoke to me. There's no fear of me. You were terrified of tornadoes. You're terrified of dying. But you never was so aware of my presence. What was that again? Oh no!
Nice one.
That's my bad.
My wall fell apart.
Is it like broken?
No.
He's just got to get the little nubbly stuff on there.
Yeah. Fear of God. This idea that we're so hyper aware of his presence that we go, it matters. All these decisions that we make, if we're aware of his presence, then how we make this decision and all of these adventures, and how we describe what we obtain in life, it doesn't own us. We know they're all blessings from God. What we're going to be doing on the next few days or next few weeks is that you're going to be picking some of these things out. Some of them will be out of your control. Your dream job of what you want to do with your life after you get out of college, you go, this is it. All of a sudden, what happens when you don't want to do it anymore when you get out of college? What happens when you can't get it when you get out of college? What happens? Does all that risk you put and all that fear of like, what was the fear, Bailey? Was the fear was I put all of this time and effort and practice and energy into it, but I feel defeated on the other side of it. I feel like I got binged. And then all of a sudden, all the things that I want in my life, I got binged. They didn't come out the way I wanted them to. So be thinking about that. It's 7:42. Let me pray, and then we'll make a book over the next few weeks.